It's a good boy.
I should never have come here.
A horror film told almost entirely through a dog's eyes. Good Boy takes a wild swing and it mostly connects. Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a review for Good Boy from 2025 today. Now the movie's not out yet, so there's not going to be any spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't worry about it. There's no spoilers here. In Good Boy, we follow this dog called Indy, who is a very curious dog. He lives with his owner and his owner goes to his grandfather's house just to chill out and get better because he's not doing very well. And Indy, being a dog, he's very curious. He likes to see things, he likes to sniff things out, and he notices some things in the house that doesn't look too right. Let me start with the cinematography and the style of this movie. Because it is mainly focused on a dog, then we've got a lot of low level camera angles, which is absolutely fine. The movie is quite dark as well, and it's intentionally dark. I don't mean thematically, I mean visually. It's visually dark. Now the good thing about this one is, and I really like this idea, was we don't really, if at all, see people's faces in this movie. It's all about the dog. Now, there are people in the movie, but their faces are obscured by maybe the camera angles, or they're blurred out, or they're intentionally in the dark. It sort of reminds me of the early days of Tom and Jerry, where you just see a kind of shoulder level of the characters from shoulder level down, and you don't see their faces. Again, it's just all about the animals. It's all about Indy the dog. The reason that works is because it helps us keep our focus as an audience member on Indy the dog. Yes, the adults and the humans are there, but you hardly ever focus on them, mainly because you can't, but also because we're trying to focus our attention on Indy. Something about what I loved about the attention that we gave Indy was because we've got those low level camera angles, we're kind of moving around like Indy. Now, we're not told the story with Indy's point of view, so we don't see exactly what Indy's seeing all the time. Yes, we do see some of his point of views, but not all the time. Most of the time, we're just following Indy around the house, out in the garden, in the woods, etc. So we're trying to piece together what Indy is also trying to piece together. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first movie that I've watched where we're focused on a dog in a horror movie in this way. I haven't seen another movie like this before, and if there isn't, then it makes this movie pretty unique. Now, if we go back to the darkness in the movie, yes, like I said, the movie is very dark most of the time, but what I love about the darkness in this movie is when the darkness is used, it is used correctly, but also you see those flickering lights that just give you a hint of what Indy is looking at. For example, if he's looking down the stairs in the basement, it's very dark, so the audience can't really see what he's looking at. And that's intentional, but when the lights start to flicker, you start to see certain things, and it's almost like we're trying to see what Indy is seeing, and it's what we see here is exactly what Indy is seeing. Now, of course, Indy is a dog, so the dialogue in here is almost non-existent, and the only dialogue really comes from Todd, Indy's owner. Yes, we get his sister talking and we see videos of his grandfather talking as well, but that's the only interactions that we get with the characters. So when it comes to trying to unfold this story, Indy obviously can't tell us what's happening. We can only assume what's happening through Indy's eyes, and also we can only assume what's happening through some of the dialogue that we get with the other characters. But because the other characters aren't the main characters, we can only really piece together what we think is happening, not really what Indy thinks is happening, because we also know that Indy is still just a dog. So there's some things that Indy's going to miss, and that's what happens. I think that's why this movie keeps you engaged. Even if you didn't like this movie, you're still engaged because you're trying to piece together what's happening in the movie, and I think that's pretty clever. Now, the movie clocks in at around 73 minutes, so it's a very, very short movie. It's almost like one of the old classic cartoons, classic Disney movies from back in the day that were just over an hour long. So it doesn't last too long for you to get bored, but there are some moments in it that do last a little bit too long. Some scenes where you're thinking, right, we know what's happening here, let's just move on to the next one. So I think even though it's 73 minutes, it could have still been tighter in terms of how it plays out, but I'm not complaining because 73 minutes, you're in and you're out and it's done. Now, unfortunately, the best part about this movie is something I can't talk about because there's no spoilers in this video. All I can say is there's a great metaphor in this movie that reveals itself at the end, which I thought was pretty great, to be honest. Now, I feel like it does land, and I feel like it's a great payoff for what they were trying to tell us throughout the entire movie. Now, it could be obvious to some people, and it might not be as obvious to other people. Regardless, though, whether you saw it coming or not, I think the ending was quite satisfying. I will give you a fair warning, though, guys. If you're a lover of dogs, if you're an animal lover, then some of the scenes in this movie might upset you. And I know that sounds a little bit silly to say because it's just a movie, but I think if you're a pure animal lover, now I love dogs, I love animals, but I could watch it, it's absolutely fine. But there are some scenes in it where some pure animal lovers might find it distressing to the dog. So if you're an animal lover, I would maybe give you a fair warning that there might be some scenes that could distress you. If you love atmospheric horror, if you love experimental point of view horror movies, and if you love a bit of mystery about your films, especially with the uniqueness of a dog being the main character, then I feel like Good Boy will be a good time for you. If you're looking for explicit answers and pure human interaction, then maybe skip Good Boy, but I do think you should give it a chance. So let me know down below, guys, if you're looking forward to seeing Good Boy, and if you eventually do see it, let me know what you thought of the movie down below. Try and leave no spoilers in there, guys, because I'm going to do another video on Good Boy later on, which will discuss some spoilers in it anyway. So if you want to talk about spoilers, then head on over to that video. But in this one, try and keep it spoiler free. And as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!